So I'm hoping that this is going to work. There are problems with allowing you to see my drawing and see the view. I was really keen that you see the view, because what I'm going to demonstrate in this video is drawing out of the window, using the window to frame some sort of scene. Today we've got this glorious blue sky and there's clouds. It's really dramatic, but because I want you to see both my drawing and the view, you're probably not going to see either very well. I might just take that board away in case it allows you to see the I think it does allow you to see the glorious blue sky. And I'll do my drawing and just check that you can see what's going on. So once again, I'm doing pastel because I am obsessed with pastel at the moment, and this time I'm working on some white paper. I'm going to start with some charcoal. As I say, the idea is to work a bit with framing the view using the window frame, so I'll have something about the inside as well as the outside, and try and give you some suggestions. Now, I'm a little bit obsessed with pastel because it's a great medium for drawing with, because you can draw in colour and you can draw very quickly, and I use it quite a lot for making preparatory drawings for my own work. So if I'm trying to decide if something is a good idea to make a drawing, then to make a painting from, then I'll do a pastel drawing first and get an idea of how it looks. So that's some charcoal, just finding the window frame. And so just as a way of making a composition, I'm using the window frame to contain my subject, even to draw attention to it. And what's really striking today with this amazing blue sky is the difference between outside and inside. So I'm going to make my window frame describe that. So things are going to probably be a bit darker and not so colourful inside compared with how light and colourful the outside is. So my window frame is part of that. I'm also working on white paper. So if I can get rid of some of the white around the edges where my window frame is dark, I can then use more luminous colours, or the colour that I use outside. So I'm just subtracting a bit there with the rubber. The colours that I use outside will be a bit like watercolour because they're on top of white paper. They should stand out a bit more in a more colourful way. So I've got a great view out here. I've got maybe a skyline round about here of lots of trees in the distance. Got a few buildings, and then I've got some nearer trees just across the road, including a bit of pink blossom and some white blossom. So that's what I'm seeing in the lower part of the view, and then the top part I've got some sky with some clouds. So as I've probably shown you a few times in other drawings, I'm using the charcoal just to get down some tone, some value, some light and dark. And I'm doing this a lot, just a little bit of a plug here. I've been doing a whole series of videos that go together with some one-to-one tuition. So I've been doing pastel videos on still lives, landscape, and I'm currently doing some on drawing the head. And they're a bit different from these free ones, because you pay, but what you pay for is getting some feedback. So you'll start your drawings, and then you'll get in touch with me and send me some photographs of where you've got to, and then I'll be able to discuss with you what I would suggest you do next to improve your drawings, to develop them, and so on. So I've done the charcoal. I'm not going to spray it because I've rubbed it into the paper, and now I'm just going to block in a bit of colour. So I've got some lilac-y blue, and because I haven't sprayed it, some of this will mix with the charcoal, so that's fine. I'm doing a lot of mixing on the drawing and letting the colour develop gradually. And we've got various greens in here. I've got some of these trees. So this is a next stage. It's a kind of blocking in. It's really nice to smudge the colour on the page. Just trying to find the colours because it's in this bright sunshine. Not always see everything. You can't see what I'm doing, you can't see my view, and I can't see my pastels, but apart from that, it's working really well. So I want a dark green. So again, I'm mixing with what's behind. I don't think you can see that. So anyway, better speed up, get some colour down, and then I'll maybe angle it so that you can see it from a different point of view. But you can hopefully understand roughly what I'm doing, which is getting down some mixtures of colours. So I've put down a bit of pale yellow and I've worked some white into that, and I'll let some of the charcoal mix. So this is really blocking in areas of colour. It's partly just trying to see how these colours appear once they've been mixed a bit. And it's great working with this approximate blocking in of colour. That tree is much yellower, because it allows you just to compare colours and see how they work together. You don't have to worry about them. It's not time to worry about them being exactly the right shape, or I can just see them as areas of colour to see how they relate to each other. And I think that's probably just going to be a grey brown. So there I'm currently really just blocking in a slightly abstracted way, a simplified way, some areas of colour for the distance. And then I'm going to do something of the interior. And actually it's quite nice down there because we've got the corner of the street. And it would probably help next then to get into some of these interior colours. Just something to strengthen the window panes. And there's quite a lot of wood in the frames, so not the panes but the frames. So I'm using a fairly warm dark brown, which is a bit darker than what's there, so I'm going to lighten it in a moment. But you can see by doing that I've got my window frame back, and that's helping push the outside view away. So we'll just try some other colours on there. There's some amazing light going on in here as well on the inside, which would be quite nice to depict. Some of the light on the edges. But again, this is a sort of colour approach, just trying to sort out the colours inside and the colours outside. Try a little bit of grey, maybe violet grey down there on the road. and one more colour for the inside. Then I think what I need to do is let you see what I've done, because you may be seeing nothing. So let's have a look at that. Let's turn everything around. And it might be an idea actually to try and work on this a bit now. Yeah, work on that so you can see what I'm doing. So you can't see the view anymore. And I've just got a couple of minutes left by the look of it. So let's get a little bit more definition into this view. So I'll just do a wee bit with charcoal, because I can see I've got some buildings here in the distance, and they're going to help me define some of those trees. And then what's in my foreground is this tree with all its blossom. I'm getting in a few branches there. So I've chosen things which are further away, things that are nearer. And there should really have been some pink in there. Don't know why that wasn't pink. Well, I've got a gap there. What's that? I think that's part of another darker green tree. So having blocked in some of these colours and started to look at how they vary, I'm now starting to get a bit more specific with them. I want to work in a way back and forth between what's in the distance